Oh, good morning, everybody. And I have to say, this is a beautiful morning. I woke up this morning and I haven't felt this good in a long time, man. And the reason why I feel this good is I really enjoyed and I'm very appreciative of all the comments that I got from you guys who said, thanks, Beeb. Thanks, Beeb. You made me some money. And, you know, my history speaks for itself. My resume, my record speaks for itself. Because you guys know, obviously, we're not gonna pick them all, but when we do win, we are really getting some value for our wins. We're really getting some substantial wealth for our picks. We're hitting 3 to 1s, 4 to 1s, 3.5 to 1s, and they more than make up for the times we're getting picks wrong. Because again, like I always tell you, this is a grind. It's a slow grind. It's like playing the stock market. You have to diversify your funds. You can't be aggressive in all of your have your whole portfolio be aggressive. You have to balance it out. And a lot of people were asking me, Beeb, should we have put should we put money on the stoppage proposition for Lopez? I really think he's gonna stop Lomachenko. A lot of people were asking me that question. And this is one of those moments where, as tempted as I was to want to lay money on the stoppage proposition, why get greedy? Why get greedy? We were getting good odds for the win straight up. We were getting a plus 330. We were getting a plus upwards of 350 in some books, 375. The knockout proposition was a plus 500. All right, we would have got more money, but we would have backed ourselves into a corner too. So, like that movie Colors, would you rather walk down that mountain and get all the cows, or run down that mountain and possibly only get one or none? So, this is why the Beeb is one of the greatest gambler advisory people on here. And I'm going to take a shot at Dwyer, because Dwyer picked Lomachenko. Why he would tell you guys to lay 400 to make 100 is beyond me. Because that's not a value bet. That's again, I'm going to be blunt about it. That's a ridiculous bet. But not only that, he told you to bet Lomachenko straight up and hedge it with Lopez for the knockout. So you basically, if you took Dwyer's advice, you compounded your losses. He's not gambler's advisory. I'm the true gambler's advisory guy here. Okay? Because again, a lot of you guys messaged me, Beeb, should I put it on the KO prop or should I just bet Lopez straight up? What should I do? And I really wanted to make sure you guys cashed in. I wanted to give you guys the best chance of getting a big return on your money while taking the most minimal risk. And this is why I recommended Lopez straight up. Okay? So once again, thank you so much for the words of encouragement. But I'm not here just to talk to you guys. I'm also here to really stick it to you Lomachenko fanatics. And the people are saying, B, why are you going at these guys so hard? Why are you gloating right now? Why are you being such a poor winner right now? Well, again, for weeks, all I did was offer up my opinion. All I did was offer up my opinion on how this fight was going to go. And I was passionate about it. I was passionate about it because I love seeing a changing of the guard. I love seeing a new face in boxing emerge. And again, this kid Teofimo Lopez, he's going to get better. I'm still gonna, hold on to my prediction that this kid is going to be a pound for pound king one day. I think he's going to move up to 140. I think he's going to be better at 140. I think he's going to improve as he gets older. He's only 23 years old. And I think this kid eventually will become the face of boxing one day. He will be the new pound for pound king. But you guys were vilifying me. You were insulting me every day. You were being so condescending and so dismissive to me. You guys were coming on here with your pretentious pretentious demeanor and your condescending attitude. And you guys were really, really, really insulting me. I got thick skin. That's fine. But I'm not going to just sit there and roll over for you guys either. You want to talk shit? Nobody talks shit better than the Beeb. You want to take shots? And all the things you guys were saying. All the things you guys were saying. Oh, Lomachenko has a higher boxing IQ. He's got a better boxing IQ. Well, last night he didn't. Oh, he's got better footwork. He's got much better footwork. No, last night he didn't. Oh, he's faster. No, he wasn't. He was actually slower. Oh, Tiafimo's going to fade. He's going to get tired. He's going to get worn down. He faded a little bit in rounds 9 through 11, a little bit in round 8, but he got his second win in round 12. And if you look in round 12, Lomachenko was the guy who had his mouth open. Lomachenko was the guy who was holding on. Lomachenko was the guy who looked like he was ready to go, who was staggered, who was getting beat up and pushed back in that round. All three judges scored that round for Lopez. So Lopez was able to dig down deep, and he got a second win. And Lomachenko looked like he was fading a lot in that fight as well, but that was due to the body shots. That was due to the body shots that Lopez was landing. Those body shots were taking a lot of energy out of Lomachenko. And then Lomachenko, again, headbutted Lopez a few times, and you can make an argument that those headbutts were actually the thing that fatigued Lopez, possibly. But again, fight is a fight. Guy wants to get down low, come up, whatever. That's part of boxing. Do I think he intentionally tried to headbutt him? I honestly don't. I just think that he came in and went low and tried, I just think he tried to come forward, whatever. I thought he was a little bit over aggressive. But all you guys that said you were going to come see me, I'm coming right back here on Sunday after this fight takes place. Where are you guys? Guys are all hiding right now. Again, Lopez proved, and he basically validated my point about footwork. Because Lomachenko moved a lot more with his feet, used a lot more foot movement last night than Lopez. But what did Lopez do? He knew, like I said, both Lopez and myself knew, and Lopez Sr. knew, that Lomachenko consistently pivots out to his right. So what did Lopez do? As soon as Lomachenko was pivoting out, immediately, right on cue, at the same time the pivot was being done by Lomachenko, Lopez turned to his right and made sure he continually faced him, continually took the punching angle away. How did he do that? Process and react quickly to what's going on in front of him and nullifying the attack and having an answer for what's going on in front of him quickly because of his fast twitch, adaptive, reactive reflexes. And also, he knows he's going to do it. And before he can do it, he cuts him off at the pass. So this whole footwork argument with more movement being better than less movement, that theory was debunked last night. That theory was debunked last night because of the little subtle turns, side steps, and pivots of his own from Teofimo Lopez. So Lopez, I thought, showed far superior footwork than Lomachenko. Don't get caught up in the smoke and mirrors. Don't get caught up in the smoke and mirrors, the flashy shit, the pitter-pats. Don't get caught up in that. And I credit Lomachenko for coming on in rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11. I credit him for that. But I also credit Lopez for finishing that fight in the 12th round like a champion, going for it. Okay? So we got to give Lopez credit as well for getting his second win. And again, Lomachenko, Lopez is too inactive, doesn't throw enough punches. Really? Really? Who threw more punches last night? Who landed more punches last night? Who landed better shots last night? Look at Lomachenko's face. Look at his body. This guy had red all on his midsection from all those body shots that he took. He was red from all those body shots that he took. Lopez had every conceivable advantage in that fight last night. He had the better game plan. He had the higher boxing IQ. He had the better footwork. He was the faster guy. He landed more power shots. Although I did score that fight 8 rounds to 4, I could have easily scored it 9 rounds to 3. I was tempted to give that 8th round to Lopez, but I thought that Lomachenko did win it. But I think that round was on the table. Could have gone to Lopez if I wanted to. I thought Lomachenko, I agree, G Funky, he was hurt to the body multiple times. Yeah, I heard Lomachenko saying he thinks he won the fight, but it makes no sense because he says that Teofimo Lopez won the first half and he won the second half. So according to his logic, at best the best he could have got was a draw. The best he could have got was a draw. According to his logic. If he said he won, if he lost the first half and won the second half. So how could he say he won the fight definitively? You know? And again, he wasn't going to give Lopez any credit because it was personal. There was no way after all the shit that Lopez talked that Lomachenko was ever going to give him props at the end of this fight, regardless if he won or not. There was just no way. There was just no way. Mr. Boxing Today, what was Mr. Boxing Today's scorecard? I'm curious to see that one. Did he post his scorecard in here? Oh, you had it 8-4? Yeah, I had it 8-4. I had it 8-4 too. I had it 8-4. I had it 116 to 112. Most people that I talk to, the general consensus scorecard for most people was 8-4. There were some 7-5s. Very, very few people did have it a draw. I don't know anyone that had Lomachenko winning. Any of the people that I talked to. Yeah, some of you guys did have it 115 to 113. That's fine. I mean, a lot of people think that Lomachenko, a good amount of people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, there was a decent amount of people that said that they thought that Lomachenko won round 2. I don't see it. He didn't really throw any punches in round 2. I have a hard time giving any of the first 7 rounds to Lomachenko. I thought Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, clearly won the first 7 rounds. I thought Lopez won clearly the first 7 rounds. I have to be honest. I have to be honest. Andre Ward had the fight a draw. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. He had the fight a draw. I'm not going to come on here and try to scorecard shame anybody. There's been times when I've gone against the popular opinion as well. So if people have their scorecards, but one thing I can tell you is I don't think anyone won that fight 11 rounds to 1. That Julie Letterman scorecard was utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. You know, I think it was utterly ridiculous. I just didn't see that. I think Ward gave Lomachenko the 7th too. I didn't see that. I didn't see that, man. I did not see that. I was surprised to see that he gave him the 7th. And with all due respect to everybody, I respect everyone's opinion, but I don't know how anyone could have given Loma the 12th. Jesse Perez is trolling. He's trolling now. He says Loma won. He's trolling. But yeah, I had a hard time. Giving not giving Lopez the 12th. You know, Michael O'Brien says, Beep, how does it feel to be so right? Must be a nice Sunday. It feels beautiful because, again, all of these Lomachenko fanatics that supposedly thought this guy walked on water, that this guy never gets touched, that no one can keep up with this guy's foot speed. I mean, you guys overrated him. And now when I say someone's overrated, it doesn't mean that they're not good or even great. He's a great fighter. I would vote him in the Hall of Fame today. But it's like this. If someone graduates in the top 10 of their class, that they're an excellent, phenomenal student, right? They're an excellent, phenomenal student. Hey, I graduated the top 10 of my class, whatever. But if they go on a job interview and they say they graduated the top of their class, number 1, and lied, then they're overrating themselves. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they're not it's not a great academic accomplishment to be in the top 10. But if you're in the top 10 and you lie and you say you're in the top 1, then you overrated yourself. So you guys overrated Lomachenko. You overrated him and you underrated Lopez. That's the thing. So Lomachenko was overrated because you guys put him on too high of a pedestal. Too high of a pedestal. He doesn't move his head. He doesn't have exceptional upper body movement. He can't fight backing up. And then some people were saying, oh, well, neither can Lopez. I think Lopez can fight backing up because watch how when he slid back, he walked Lomachenko into uppercuts by sliding back and creating space. Lomachenko doesn't do those things. He doesn't move his head a lot. He's not going to stand in the pocket and slip, dip and duck and roll away from punches. That's not all he does. Again, we're going to get into these arguments because people don't know what they're watching. His defense is his legs. When he's in the pocket, watch Lopez, even when he's throwing punches, when he was throwing the jab and he was throwing right hands, he was moving his head. Lomachenko stays straight and goes ba 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 ba. I mean, you guys have to know what you're watching. I'm spending so much time on here teaching you for free. I am giving you my time for free, trying to educate you. But you guys just aren't absorbing this wealth of knowledge that I have. I'm giving it to you for free. I'm giving you this knowledge for free, but you just won't accept it. Thank you, Alex T. I appreciate it. He says, thank you, Al Heyman. Sup, Beebs. Loma was no, Loma was not. We're not going to do that. I mean, I respect your opinion. If that's how you, I'm not gonna shit on Loma. Loma was exposed. Floyd would have made the adjustments. He's no Whitaker, Floyd, Canelo, or Oscar. Okay, we'll say that, but I don't think he was exposed. I think that people overrated him. I'm not going to say he was exposed. He was overrated. There's not going to be a rematch. There's no need for a rematch because Lopez will go up to 140 and he will start the takeover up there as well. And no one's going to beat him at 140 either. No one's going to beat him. The kid's 23 years old. You know why Loma didn't make adjustments? And this is no disrespect to him. He is a pattern fighter. Side, stop, middle, straighten, center, mid-range pocket area, pivot out right. And I don't mean that to say that in a dismissive way, but that's what he does. He did the same thing over and over again while Teofimo Lopez, sometimes he would work off his jab. Other times when Loma pivoted right, Teofimo Lopez would turn right and then he would check hook him. Other times he would slide back, short right uppercut. He was varying up the attack, body, head, body, head, body, head. He was the more versatile guy last night. But Lomachenko is a pattern fighter. He's a pattern fighter. He does a lot of repetitious things in there, but because he was so much faster than everybody else, even though some fighters knew he was going to do certain things, they didn't have the ability to catch up to him, cut him off at the pass, and keep up with his speed. For the first time in his career, definitely professional and possibly even amateur, he was in there with a faster guy. Lopez was significantly faster than him. Significantly faster than him. It wasn't even a comparison. He couldn't even time that jab. That jab was snapped, and that jab was a power jab. It was a snapping jab. His face was all red last night. Yeah, his nose was red. It looked like a strawberry. Just got to be honest. I don't really even. I mean, he made minimal adjustments, and I think the headbutts, I think affected Lopez a little bit, and I think that kind of slowed him down a little bit in spots. I'm not going to make excuses, but it is what it is. Lomachenko bit down on his mouthpiece, and he tried to become more aggressive. But I think the headbutts were the ones that did the damage. Of course, Josh Taylor beats Lopez at 140 because that's your favorite fighter. That's what you're supposed to say. But there's no way Josh Taylor beats Lopez at 140. He's too slow. Lopez has every conceivable advantage in that fight. Hand speed, foot speed, reflexes. Lopez destroys Josh Taylor. Destroys him. You got to stop being a fanboy. You got to stop being... Thank you, Ryan Hong. Lopez destroys Josh Taylor. Destroys... Lopez just beat the best pound for pound fighter in the world, and this guy's gonna throw Josh Taylor in there and saying he's gonna win. Get out of here. It's not even close. Destroys him. Lopez should go up to 140 and unify those titles. He'd do it very easily. Very easily. And he'd probably make more money doing it than fighting these guys at lightweight. Why should he fight Vasily Lomachenko leftovers? Why should he do that? He doesn't have to do that. He does not have to do that. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what you see in Taylor. I just don't like. What do you like? Why do you like Josh Taylor so much? Why? Like, what is your obsession with Josh Taylor? I don't get it. Can't you just look at a fight objectively? Can't you just look at a fight objectively and just look at how, like, strengths and weaknesses? Taylor is much slower than Lopez. It is not a comparison. You know what? You don't really believe what you're saying. I know you don't believe what you're saying. It's okay. We'll humor you. Well, you want to troll and have fun. You don't believe what you're saying. You don't. It's a good joke. Thank you for the comedy. It's good to laugh this early in the morning because you don't believe what you're saying. You're just trolling. It's okay. Taylor ain't even going to beat Ramirez. Taylor was getting touched up against friggin' Victor Postol. He's getting pushed back and getting his head snapped back against Victor Postol. Leave box talk alone, man. He's got a man crush on Josh Taylor. I mean, he's just got a man crush on him. There's a strong attraction between him and Josh Taylor. What can I tell you? There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not gonna take away his hero. If that's his hero, then that could be his hero. I think Josh Taylor could beat Godzilla. Josh Taylor's like, he could beat. I think Josh Taylor could beat King Kong. Josh Taylor could actually move up to heavyweight and beat Tyson Fury. He's that good. I think if you put Josh Taylor against the United States military, I think Josh Taylor would win. Oh, God. It's funny. Yeah, he did. G Funky says Postal had Taylor on spaghetti legs in the 7th round. Taylor's win over Postal was clear. Okay. And Ramirez's win's going to be clearer, very clear when he fights Taylor. So it doesn't matter. Says, I want to see Tio fight Haney, Tank, and Robert Garcia. Thank you, Alexander Wilson. He says, I want to see Tio fight Haney, Tank, and Robert Garcia. Ryan Garcia, excuse me. I thought Postal beat Ramirez. That was not an impressive outing for Ramirez. Yeah. Again, I mean, everyone has a right to their own opinion. But I just don't see Taylor beating Teofimo Lopez. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I just think the speed gap is just too great, man. I just don't see it. I can't see it. This is my opinion. So where's all the Beep sort of interview with Aram again to try. Aram already said that he's trying to put that fight together within the first 3 months of next year. So look for that fight in between January and March of next year. I got Lopez over everybody at 140. Teofimo Lopez is a phenom. He's a phenom. And if I was guiding his career, I would not fight another fight at 135. Unless they gave me $5 million to rematch Lomachenko, I would not stay at lightweight. The only way I would stay at lightweight is if I got a $5 million offer from Arum to fight Lomachenko in a rematch. That's the only way I would stay at lightweight. Why not move up to 140, conquer another division, unify another division, build your legacy, and you're going to be fighting against guys who are going to be significantly slower than you. You're going to be stronger at 140. You're going to be faster at 140. You're going to be a better version of yourself at 140 because says he's been having a hard time making 135. He's had to really work hard to get down to that weight. He's a much better fighter at 140. So go up to 140 and take over that division. They're not going to rematch Lomachenko. The question is, does Lomachenko go back down to 130? Or does he stay at 135? That's the question. Exactly right. Velocity Cruz says Tio has nothing to prove at 135 anymore. He beat the consensus champ. He beat the consensus champ. Did what he had to do against the best guy in the division. This fight is going to be like Mayweather Canelo. Exactly, G Funky. Where are these Lomachenko people? Where are they? I would not be surprised, Centurion son, if he has one fight at 140 and then he does end up fighting those guys. Fighting the winner of Ramirez versus Taylor. I wouldn't be surprised if that took place. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Thank you, Alexander Wilson. He says, I feel that Tio has jumped ahead of Haney, Tank, and Garcia. Well, I already had him ahead of them before this fight. Those three haven't done anything as good as what Tio did. Great fight last night. Well, you have to ask yourself a question. Why is Devin Haney fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa? And why did Teofimo Lopez fight Lomachenko in his 16th fight? Teofimo Lopez won a title in his 15th fight, a real title, not a vacant title from some guy that shouldn't even have been ranked. So a lot of guys are high on Devin Haney. They said they've looked at him and they've basing their opinions solely off the eye test, which is what I did which is what I did admittedly with Teofimo Lopez. So I'm not gonna say those guys who like Devin Haney are wrong. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I think they are, but if they see something, then they see something. But I just think that Lopez is a better fighter than Haney. I don't even care if Lopez fights Haney. I like I said, I want Lopez to go up to 140 and fight the winner of Josh Taylor versus Ramirez. That's what I want. I'd rather see that. I'd rather see him go up to 140 and fight a unification fight there. That's what I'd rather see. I would even do this. I would even do this. I would call for an immediate fight against the winner of Taylor versus Ramirez, if the sanctioning bodies would allow it. Because think about this. The WBO, if you're a champion in the lower division, so if you're a champion at 135 and if you move up to 140, the WBO automatically ranks you number one. So technically, he could fight the winner of that fight, or at least the WBO portion title holder of that fight. So I would have no problem seeing Teofimo Lopez fight the winner of Ramirez versus Taylor. So I would not be against that fight at all. And I'm sure the WBC would have no problem sanctioning it. The only problem is you'd have a problem with the IBF. Is the IBF with is the Josh? What belts does Josh Taylor have? Doesn't he have the IBF and the what's he have? The IBF and the WBA, and Ramirez has the WBC and the WBO. Let me double check that. So hard to keep up with these friggin' belts. So fucking hard to keep up with these belts. Let's see if we can get the ratings here. Trying to find out who has what. Ratings. Let's look at junior welterweight. So Josh Taylor has the IBF and the WBA. Jose Ramirez has the WBC and the WBO. So the only sanctioning body that may not be happy about sanctioning that fight with Lopez versus the winner of Ramirez versus Josh Taylor is probably the IBF. I don't think Suleiman would have a problem with it. I know the WBO definitely wouldn't have a problem with it. WBA would probably be okay with it. It's the IBF. It's the IBF that may have something to say about it, but yeah. So Josh Taylor has the IBF and the WBA, and like I said, I was right. I said it right. I was right, which is cool. No problem. All right. So yeah, that's what I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him going up to 140 and fighting the winner of Ramirez versus Taylor. And I think he would beat either guy pretty easily. Ramirez, I think he would beat him easily, or I think he would beat Taylor easily. I think he would probably stop either guy because I think the speed advantage would just be too great for him in those fights. Was Lomachenko? Let's double check and see if Lomachenko had the ring belt. Let's see if Lomachenko had the ring lightweight belt. Yeah, he had the ring belt. So Teofimo Lopez now has the ring belt. Funny thing is, the ring belt wasn't even. I didn't see it there last night. So the ring didn't even have a belt there in case Lopez won. They didn't even think Lopez, or unless Vasily Lomachenko didn't bring it, but the ring didn't even have a belt there in the event if Lopez won. So they didn't even think Lopez was going to win. So they didn't even give him a belt. How funny is that? That's hilarious. But Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko was the champion, the ring champion, and Lopez was number 1. Haney's number 2. And they have Comey at number 3. They have Luke Campbell at number 4. Ryan Garcia is number 5. Robert East is number 6. Fortune is 7. Linares is 8. Emmanuel Tago is number 9. And Barthélemy is number 10. So, yeah. Yeah, the WBA and the WBC are the worst with those secondary straps, Mr. Boxing Today. I totally agree. I totally agree. All right, guys, I think that's about it. Pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover this morning. Make sure you check us out today, a Ringside Reporter podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The phone lines will be open. You guys can call in And like I said, where are you Lomachenko fanatics? You guys got to eat crow. Got to eat your word. You told me you were going to come see me on Sunday after the fight. Said you were going to come see me Sunday after the fight. You told me. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I heard that, JC. He said after the post fight there's no rematch and a plan for him moving forward because they thought he was going to lose. They even had a contract drawn up for him with a restructured pay scale, thinking he was going to lose. They didn't even wait till after the fight to draw up a new contract for him. They already had it ready for him, thinking he was going to lose. How disrespectful is that? They already gave him had a contract ready, drawn up with his new pay scale and purse structure, based upon him losing the fight, if he were to lose. Imagine that. I don't think Lomachenko was given that same contract. They didn't give him. They didn't put up a restructured deal in front of him before the fight, did they? So this just goes to show you that his own promoters didn't even think he had a chance. And then you wonder why this guy's got a chip on his shoulder. And then you guys want to talk shit about his dad. You want to hate on a guy for loving his son. You want to hate on a man for loving his son. A guy who took him from being a young boy and took him to being a 4-belt weight champion at 23 years old. But yet you want to sit there and talk shit about his father. If his father didn't talk the shit that he talked, then it could be very well possible that this fight wouldn't even have taken place. So you could thank his father for this fight happening, probably. No, just not taking anything away from Teofimo Lopez himself. Obviously, his skills got him there too. He had to have the skills to back up what his father said, but his skills were not going to be enough to get this fight. His father had to talk that shit to get him this fight. Had to. Had to be done. So I'm not cool with all these shots at Lopez Sr. I'm not. It's my opinion. I mean, obviously, guys can say what you want, but I'm not on board with that. I'm not on board with that. I don't think that's cool. Guys taking shots at Lopez Sr. just for loving his son. The fuck's he supposed to say? His son sucks? He's passionate about his son. He loves his son. He loves his son. So why take that away? Why take that away? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. I greatly appreciate it. And once again, make sure you guys call in tonight. Tune in, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Eric and I will be doing a recap show. Phone lines will be open. Crow should be eaten. You guys, if you didn't show up to this one, I know it's a little bit early. You didn't show up to this one. Andres Kiana, he said, hi, I'm a Lomachenko fanatic. I'm here for my crow. Much respect to you, man. You showed up. You ate your crow. I won't say a negative word about you from here on out. You were a man. You owned up to what you said you were going to do. Did what you said you were going to do. and I give you much respect for that. So, you're cool. You're cool in my book, bro. So yeah, let's see if the rest of these guys show up. One of them did. Where's that Armando kid? Where's he? Where's he? Where's Sean Newton? Who'd he have to win? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll talk to you guys all later. Have a great day. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there or be square. Peace out, everyone. Be safe.